Hey guys, Basil here. Welcome to Phone Arena. Today I'll be taking you through a video review of the HTC Salsa, HTC's latest Facebook phone with a cool F underneath the screen. What does that F mean? Well, it'll take you straight to Facebook with a single press. A long press will take you to Facebook Places, and there's some other integration with other features in the handset which we'll come to later. To kick things off though, let's talk about the design of the handset. When we saw pictures of the HTC Salsa, we thought it might be a little bit plasticky, we have to say. That said, in the flesh it's pretty nice and solid. It feels decent in the hand with good weighting, and it feels comfortable against the ear. Some might find it a little heavy, but we also appreciate that it feels really nice and solid and robust as well. As far as the screen goes, you've got a 3.4-inch screen. It's HVGA resolution, so it's not the sharpest out there. Even though it isn't too sharp, so it won't be ideal for loads and loads of web browsing, especially also at 3.4 inches. What we can say about it is colors are good, as is vibrance and brightness levels, so it can be comfortably viewed outdoors for the most part, except for in the brightest conditions. Below the screen are 4 capacitive buttons, while the only physical button on the fascia, the Facebook button, sits directly below them. To the right hand side is perhaps the most comfortable camera shutter release we've used in a long time. Definitely feels really nice, and it's 2-stage, so first stage autofocus and you get some real click feedback through to the second stage. On the left hand side is a volume rocker and micro USB port, while up top is an audio jack and a power button. Flip the device round and you've got the 5 megapixel camera, single LED flash and loudspeaker, as well as an HTC insignia and a removable battery cover at the bottom. Overall, as far as design goes, therefore, we're pretty impressed with the HTC Salsa. It's a mid-range handset that definitely feels really nice and solid. The Facebook button visually doesn't really work for us, and we're not actually entirely sure about the color scheme, but nevertheless, as far as build quality goes, it's an overall thumbs up. The HTC Salsa runs HTC Sense 2.1, all on top of Android Gingerbread, but also has a couple of features from Sense 3.0 thrown in for good measure. One of these includes the lock screen, which is unlocked by the ring pullout. Unfortunately though, you don't have the background events going on, such as your Facebook or Twitter updates or the weather. This would have been really good on a handset like this with Facebook support, but HTC probably didn't include it to keep the performance up, which we can understand, but we would have liked them to have worked a workaround for it. Never mind. The weather also talks to you, like with HTC Sense 3.0. This isn't really a fantastic thing, it's just something to note. As far as the remainder of the interface goes, it's your standard HTC Sense 2.1 fare. You've got your quick settings in the notifications tab, and you've also got your staggered apps drawer. Very nice, very smooth, and everything operates predictably, which is a good thing generally. What you also have is your Facebook functionality. Now this is the main event, so let's not dilly-dally around it anymore. We'll start with a Facebook chat widget. You can see this is a widget that sits nicely on my desktop, and I can actually start talking to people directly from this widget itself. In addition to that, a click through of the widget, and we can actually browse through my contacts. We can manage any conversations that we have, delete conversations for example, and in addition to that we can access this directly from our app drawer if we don't have the widget open, which is again pretty nice and handy. Definitely performs much better than the standard Android widget, so if you're a Facebook chatter then it might be really worth looking into. Additional Facebook functionality comes in the form of the Facebook button. Press the Facebook button once and you get to update your wall. Press the Facebook button for a long time and then you get to update your location. Updating your location automatically loads up surrounding places, or indeed you can add a place. If you're in the camera application, you can actually press the Facebook button and you'll take a photo. Not only does it take a photo, but it also gets it ready to fly onto your wall. You can tag friends and add a description. Tagging friends in particular is very easy, and that's something that Facebook on Android struggles with, so we're really glad for this. As far as additional Facebook functionality goes, it's really only left in music. We can listen to a track that we really like. We can press the Facebook button, and then that track's sent straight to our wall. As you can see, it's pulled information from Amazon, and it really saves us the trouble of sharing it manually. This is ideal for people who are always sharing what they're doing, where they're going, and what they're listening to on Facebook. Well, that's the end of Facebook functionality. The remainder of the functionality of the handset is pretty predictable, seeing as we've had a really in-depth look at the HTC Wildfire S and HTC Desire S, which, as we said, is very similar. So let's take a look at the device-specific things such as the camera. With a 5 megapixel camera on board, the interface is really predictable. You have your standard HTC special effects, so nowhere near as full a range of effects as found on the HTC Sensation, for example. The same goes for settings and scenes, so if you're into real snapping, if you want real control over your snaps, then it's probably not the handset to go with. That said, images look pretty good from them. Taking a look at this punnet of strawberries, this bowl of strawberries for example, the reds are really nice and vibrant, and in addition to that you've got some pretty good detailing on board. Outdoor shots look pretty good overall, and colours and detail and contrast generally were thumbs up. Occasionally, however, it does overblow light situations and underexposed darker situations, but that can be expected from a phone in camera in this price range, and performance is generally good. Sadly, the same can't be said of video. Video records at a resolution of 720 by 480p and is quite shaky to say the least. Videos captured generally probably best suited for YouTube or Facebook uploads themselves, which is understandable for a device with a real focus on Facebook. As far as additional multimedia goes, we've had a look at the music player. It's really no different to the standard HTC music player, and it might not be to everyone's cup of tea. Fortunately, on Android you can download alternatives. As far as connectivity goes on the handset has Wi-Fi, 3G and Bluetooth as well. It's also got a GPS on board, so it can be used for mapping. Web browsing on the device is pretty okay. At 3.4 inches, the screen's big enough, but the resolution isn't particularly sharp, so reading text will require a degree of zooming in. Fortunately, the text reflows to the page really nice and quickly, and there isn't really much slowdown when browsing through pages, as we got with the Wildfire S, for example, quite occasionally. So, overall, as far as connectivity goes, and the handset itself, it does generally get a thumbs up, as we do like HTC Sense, and we really do appreciate the Facebook integration, even if it isn't fundamental. That said, we wouldn't say it warranted the price point being exactly where it is. So there you have it, the HTC Salsa. It's a fun name, it's a fun phone. We really like it overall. I mean, it feels nice in the hand, you've got a cool Facebook button, you've got a good camera. I mean, what's not to love, right? Well, wrong. You've got the price point. It does a much better job than the Wildfire S, and we're glad for that. That said, it costs quite a bit more, so it should do a better job. When you compare it to the Desire S, however, it has across the board got worse hardware. At a similar price point, we really can't see the Facebook button being enough of a reason, at least for us, to make us warrant spending similar money for an overall worse phone. The price will probably go down, as indeed it did with the Desire S, to bring it to the price point it's at now. And when it does, we'd be more happy to recommend the HTC Salsa. But in the meantime, you may want to check out the HTC Desire S unless you're really into your Facebook. Another alternative would be the HTC Trophy. This runs Windows Phone 7, so it gives you an alternate operating system. But if you want to stay with Android and don't want any HTC on your Droid, then check out the Samsung Galaxy Ace. Thanks for watching Phone Arena. This has been a video review of the HTC Salsa. For more on this and other handsets, just check out phonearena.com.